So it looked like Angel Reese is back in the headlines after another unrivaled basketball game.
Did you see what Angel Reese just did in her latest unrivaled league game? She completely ignored Lexie Hull, who was wide open under the basket, a decision that perfectly sums up the issues in her game right now. Chicago Sky fans should be seriously concerned. In today's video, we're breaking down why Reese's performance is raising major red flags. From her court awareness to decision-making and teamwork, we'll analyze how these flaws are impacting her development and why her teammates might already be feeling the effects of her me-first mentality on the court.
Creating this false narrative that content creators is picking on Angel Reese because Angel Reese does it to herself and she never ceases to amaze.
Did you see that moment when Lexie Hull was standing wide open under the basket, arms up, ready for an easy bucket? It was the kind of play that makes you want to yell at your screen, the perfect chance for Angel Reese to make a simple, fundamental basketball pass. But what happened next was honestly shocking.
And how one performance, and most importantly, one particular play, should send a shiver of fear, should frighten the hell out of Chicago Sky fans everywhere, because it's something, frankly, Sky fans saw a lot.
Let me break down this crucial possession for you. Rose BC needed points and had the perfect setup. Hull made a brilliant cut to the basket, finding herself completely unguarded, wide open. The kind of position where players are already celebrating the 2 points before the ball even gets there.
And that's the fact that when Angel Reese gets the ball in her hands anywhere close to the basket, she will not give the ball up. It's selfish basketball. It's a lack of awareness. And this might be the most egregious case of it.
But here's where it gets mind-boggling. Angel Reese had the ball in her hands, a clear view of Hull standing wide open with her arms raised, and she just ignored her. Instead of making the obvious pass, Reese literally turned her back on her teammate and forced a contested shot with defenders all over her. Predictably, she missed it completely.
All right, now, let's look at it one more time. Hold on. Pass it in to Angel. Look at this, folks. That's Lexie Hull. Right there. Right there. Wide ass open. Does she get the ball? Let's... I mean, what are you doing?
This isn't just a random bad decision in the heat of the moment. It's basketball tunnel vision at its worst. It's like Reese's blinders on the second she gets the ball. The court shrinks to just her and the basket, while her teammates might as well be invisible.
One more time. Full speed. Here we go. In. Cuts back into the lane. Wide open under the basket for the shot. Angel not only did not pass the ball back out to Lexie Hull, but she missed another frickin'.
The numbers from this game tell an even bigger story. Reese shot just 4 of 10 from the field, and her misses weren't on tough attempts. They were basic finger rolls and close-range shots. The same finishing struggles that plagued her last season with the Chicago Sky. These are shots a professional player should be making consistently.
Believe that. I mean, Lexie Hull couldn't be more wide open there with nobody around. Just a little lay-in. Ball comes into her, little lay-in. Angel gets an assist and plays good, sound basketball.
Think about what this does to team chemistry. Imagine being Lexie Hull in that moment. You've done everything right, created space, gotten wide open, and are calling for the ball, ready to help your team. And yet, your teammate won't even look at you. How frustrating is that? How does it affect your energy on the next defensive possession? Does it make you less willing to cut hard on future plays, knowing you might not get the ball? These are the kinds of moments that can quietly break a team's rhythm and trust.
But, I couldn't find any blatant instances of her being downright selfish.
What we're seeing here is basketball selfishness that hurts everyone involved. It hurts Hull, who doesn't get the easy bucket she worked for. It hurts the team, which misses out on nearly guaranteed points. And ultimately, it hurts Reese herself. Her inefficiency around the rim becomes even more glaring when she forces shots instead of taking what the defense gives her.
Was cold from the field. She didn't do well in this game either. But no thanks to Angel Reese, they certainly lost points on this.
That selfish play was just a symptom of a much bigger issue, one that completely unraveled in the second half. How does a professional player go from nearly posting a double-double before halftime to scoring absolutely 0 points after the break? The answer reveals everything about why Chicago Sky fans should be hitting the panic button right now.
She was on a 5-game winning streak, and another propelled them to a playoff spot. Star trio Chelsea Gray, Lexie Hull, and Angel Reese surely had the win in sight, but the performance only has come from one. The Chi-Town Barbie performance was a far cry from dominant 2020 she had just had.
Let's take another look at those first half numbers: 8 points and 10 rebounds in just 13 minutes. That's impressive production, the kind any coach would be happy with. You'd expect Reese to come out of the locker room fired up, ready to dominate, and help her team secure the win. So what went wrong?
Oh, her game yesterday. My God. Right here, 71-62, a loss. And her game was ugly. Real ugly. 4 of 10 from the field, so we're back to that. Can't shoot from the field at all. We're back to not making.
Instead, we witnessed one of the most dramatic disappearing acts in recent memory: 0 points. Not a single bucket, not even a free throw. It was like someone flipped a switch, and the player who was grabbing boards and scoring in the first half just vanished.
It was bad. It really was. And she got completely, and guys, she got completely shut out in the second half of this game. All right, not involved at all.
And here's where things get really concerning. Reese picked up 4 personal fouls in the second half. That's not just bad luck. It's a clear sign of defensive frustration and a lack of discipline. When a player racks up fouls like that, it forces them to play more cautiously on defense or puts the coach in a position where they have to bench them. Either way, their impact on the game drops dramatically.
So this is what happened. At halftime, Angel Reese had 8 points, 10 rebounds in 13 minutes. She shot 4 of 9 from the field, including 0 for 1 from beyond the arc, 0 of 1 from the free throw range. She had 2 turnovers. In the second half, she disappeared, folks.
While Reese was busy racking up fouls and contributing nothing on offense, Chelsea Gray was putting on an absolute clinic on the other end, dropping 38 points. That's what a true competitor does. Steps up when the lights are brightest. Gray wasn't just scoring. She was leading, creating opportunities, and willing her team to victory.
I mean, Chelsea Gray out there was fighting for her life. Scored 38 points. 38 damn points, okay?
The contrast couldn't be more dramatic. One player rises to the challenge, takes responsibility, and lifts everyone around her. The other shrinks from the moment, becomes a liability, and leaves her teammates hanging when they need her most.
Troubles. Captain Chelsea Gray stepped up big time. She ended the night with 38 points out of the team 62 and 8 rebounds. That's why a fan added, poor Chelsea. She's really doing all she had to do to save her team.
What's especially troubling is that this wasn't just Reese having an off shooting night. It wasn't about missed shots or tough defense. This was a complete surrender when things got tough. When the fouls started piling up, she had no plan B, no way to adjust her game and stay effective while in foul trouble.
Failed to add any points in the second half and ended with 13 boards. By the way, she also got herself in foul trouble, 4 personal fouls.
Elite players find ways to impact the game even when their primary skills are taken away. If scoring isn't working, they create for others. If they can't be aggressive on defense, they focus on positioning and rebounding. Reese did none of that. When her initial approach failed, she had nothing else to offer.
You're not going to be able to believe this. the lack of awareness here as to what to do with the ball and the selfishness is it's appalling, frankly. If you're a hoops fan, if you're a basketball fan, and you watch this, I don't give a shit if you are an Angel Reese fan. You can't tell me this is not.
Imagine being one of Reese's teammates. You see her grab 10 rebounds before halftime and think, great, she's going to carry that energy into the second half. Then nothing. A complete disappearance when the game gets tough. How does that affect team chemistry? How do you trust someone who vanishes exactly when you need them most?